everybody, and welcome to this edition of the SoCal Prep Report. Rich Estrella, along with Bob Gibson and Randy Rosenblum. And today we are going to, let's just go off the road, guys. We're going to not do our normal show, which is typically preps. It's especially tough now because it is basketball season, but in view of the events that happened this past weekend with the passing of Kobe Bryant, we thought we'd take a little different tack today, guys. So first of all, guys, you know, we all know how everybody's feeling. I mean, it's been almost a week now, but man, the pain is still there for everybody.
I think, you know, it's something. It's funny when I first heard about it. I said, you know, I really thought about it. I said, Southern California has stopped. I mean, really, just everything stopped, right? I mean,
Yes.
It just everyone felt it here. I mean, you know, the Lakers, I think, are the one kind of unifying team in a way, right? I mean, you get Dodger fans and the Rams are big again, but
Right.
boy, it seems like the Lakers really just cross over. Everything.
It's the
no matter
sixth-
what group you belong to,
Well-
you say you belong to, the Lakers are somehow entrenched in that group, and it's just the way it's been for a long time here in Los Angeles, and everybody felt like they had a connection to Kobe.
You know, Rich, I felt disbelief.
Yeah, you did.
You know, you called me. I did not know about this situation. And I really, really felt disbelief. I thought you were kidding with me.
And this was an hour later, Randy. I don't know how you did not hear about it an
Randy
hour,
was down
hour
for
and
the
a half
count.
later.
I was home watching a movie, had no other
Plans
links.
for the day, obviously.
Yeah, no other links to
Phone
the
was
rest
shut down, right?
of society. I wanted to get away from it. I had worked over the weekend announcing games, and I just wanted to get away and watch a movie. And you called, I shut the movie off, and then you hit me with this news. And, you know, it's disbelief, and it's shocking, and it's unbelievably sad. And it's a man and a family man, and his daughter losing their life way too early. It's the other families. It's 9 people. It's tragic, and it really hurt. And as we go on, I'm a little older than you guys, so I'm thinking about those things now, how much sands are left in my hourglass. So I cherish time. So for them to lose their life and not have the time that they deserved, that really hurt me. So it's really difficult. This is not an easy show for me to do.
No, not today.
It's not an easy show for any of us to do, and it's really difficult, and it's so sad. And now I think as we move forward, we just got to appreciate what we had with Kobe Bryant and the rest of the members on that plane and appreciate them.
Well, and you bring up an aspect that I thought of too, and the three of us are fathers up here, so you know you think about it from the aspect of losing a kid so young like that, you know. And
Unbelievable.
You
Can't fathom it.
No, you can't, and it's a pain. Everybody say everybody's in pain. I said that's a pain. I hope I never, know what that feels like, because you couldn't even think of what that's for Vanessa Bryant. I mean to lose husband and a child, and for the Altobelli family. I mean,
Yeah.
husband and wife and child, and then wife and child of the other. I mean, it just you said I kept saying how much worse could it get, and then as the names started coming out, I said it gets worse.
And
it just gets worse and worse as the news kept coming out. And
Absolutely.
John Altobelli, the baseball coach in Orange Coast College. Then I thought, okay, now I have a connection to it. I mean, I've interviewed Coach Altobelli, and I've been out and talked with him, and I know the family a little bit, over the years. Not his family, but his brother,
Right.
Tony, who's the
Sports information
director at Orange Coast College as well, right? So I know some coaches in the community who were very tight with Kobe. So it starts to hit home a little bit, and you think, man, this is crazy.
And it's the impact that Kobe and the rest had on everyone else in Southern California. So it's like everyone in LA and around the country, and really around the world, because he was a global figure, it's like we all lost a family member. And again, when someone comes into your home for 20 years, you can relate to it being in the news business. When people come up and approach us, it's like they know us because they feel like they know you.
Right.
Well, now you have this superstar who's playing for most of the people in Southern California's favorite team coming into your home for 20 years. He's your hero. And then he passes away like this at a premature age. It's losing a relative for everyone in Southern California.
The other thing that I realized too, I said, Kobe had really just become another dad in the community, right? And that's not easy to do when you're Kobe Bryant.
Right.
But he had achieved that. He had just kind of become like a dad in the community, right? His whole thing now, post-career, was to coach his daughter, just to be, Kobe the dad. And I think that was his biggest, thing in his life now was to
Well,
kind of
he-
go on and be a good husband and a good father and become that family guy. And he was just a guy in the he wasn't with a bunch of bodyguards and a bunch of limousines. He was just Kobe out in the community. People were talking about that. Hey, I guess I won't see Kobe at the coffee shop anymore. I guess I won't see Kobe here at the wherever. I mean, all these different places where he would just frequent around because he had just become a guy in the Orange County community now where he lived.
Yeah, and you got to think about the impact of this now. Kobe Bryant, of course, grew up in Europe in high school before he came to the United States. He didn't finish high school there, obviously, but he grew up there and speaks Italian. But he was very good in those Italian leagues. Matter of fact, they posted some pictures of him in 1990. He was the biggest kid on his team in Italy. But this week, obviously, on Monday, the ruling governing body of basketball in Italy says no games for a week. We're done.
Wow.
They shut it down for a week. So that's big respect because think about it. Kobe Bryant, one of the the greatest basketball players in the world. Got to start in Italy. He lived in Italy. He was Italian. Speaks it fluently. Actually, he spoke like 5 languages fluently. But
big soccer fan.
Yeah.
Oh, I love soccer. Right?
It was just amazing.
He grew up with soccer. I believe he said first.
But
was
it's
his
not
first sport.
just our story. It's a worldwide story,
It really is.
and you don't really realize these things until you're in the middle of it, like we are now, and it's very tough. The only thing I can liken this to, and it doesn't even parallel really, was when I heard Magic Johnson when
Yeah, I
he
thought
retired. He
that
had to
too.
retire because of HIV because at the time he announced it, it was pretty much a death sentence.
Right,
They didn't have drugs that can extend your life the way they do now. It was pretty much a death sentence, and that's how everybody felt.
Right.
And
it's true.
And it was another Laker icon. Magic was every bit as big as Kobe Bryant in terms of his celebrity and who he was, in basketball. And matter of fact, he retired at the top of his game.
Everything's magnified today because of social media.
Yeah.
And he's beloved.
Definitely.
And now with the
Definitely.
social media, it's a little bit different. I go back all the way to Roberto Clemente. Bob, you and I were talking about it. Roberto Clemente was another icon, a phenomenal baseball player. Played for the Pittsburgh Pirates, arguably the greatest player ever to play for the Pirates. 3,000 hits in his career, and on a mission to bring good to an outside country. His plane went down and we lost him. But that was many, many years ago. And there was no social media, and it was a big story, but it wasn't like it is today. Right. And again, with all the medias and everyone wanting to be attached to the story, it really grew in its intensity immediately. And it speaks to the times that we're in, that if there's a news story like this, we're going to hear about it throughout not only LA, but around the United States. And Kobe Bryant really made a tremendous impact on a lot of people. But the one story that is close in my mind would be all the way back to Roberto Clemente.
Clemente and Thurman Munson, too.
Thurman
Munson
too.
was a Yankee at the top of his game. He's like 32 years old.
Yeah.
And he died in a Cessna crash, too. So just like Roberto Clemente did.
Right.
And so it's just tragic. These things are terrible. They tear at us because they are our heroes, and that's what they are. How's this impact the high school sports community? Well, I reached out to a few coaches over the weekend, and today I went over to Orange Lutheran and talked to Charlie Torres. He's an assistant coach at Orange Lutheran, but he is one of what do we call him? The
gurus, right?
Steve
One of
Calhoun.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Armed and dangerous. He's the guy everybody wants to go to learn how to be a quarterback. You want to
Yeah.
be a great basketball player and get your scholarship done, you go see Charlie Torres. We talked to Charlie Torres today. All right, we're sitting here with Charlie Torres. He's an assistant coach here at Orange Lutheran, and a lot of people out there in the basketball community know Charlie Torres. He is the trainer to the stars. He works out with a lot of premier athletes at the high school level and the collegiate level, getting them ready to get that scholarship or get into the NBA. He's had a number of players in the NBA draft. Matter of fact, he's had, I know for a fact, a number 2 pick in the draft. But Charlie's very knowledgeable about what's going on in the high school community in regards to basketball. And Coach, thanks for joining us today on such short notice.
No problem.
Of course, we're here to talk a little bit about what happened with Kobe Bryant. I know as a trainer, as a big-time trainer, you guys cross paths many a time. Some of your athletes, some of the guys you train are close to Kobe Bryant. Our focus here today mainly is the kids. I mean, this trickles down from, you've seen it, if you've know anything about what's been going on, you've seen it from very mature adults all the way down to baby level. Everybody is affected in one way, shape, or form. How has it affected, in your estimation, by what you've seen so far, the high school community in basketball? What are these kids thinking?
It's surreal. I mean, from a cultural standpoint, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron, and for Kobe to only be out of the league, a few years now, it's just, it's crazy. You know, like, and then the other impact, I mean, us being in Orange County and having a couple players on our team that, you know, we're close with Gigi, it's a touchy thing, you know. We'd always see him coming in and out of the gym, and, you know, just a great guy, great family, great coach, always wanting to grow. And the fact that he had a daughter, he got really into the women's basketball community, and it was pretty awesome. Last time I saw him in the gym, he had like 3 girls from UConn that were with him helping out with his girls team, and it was pretty cool to see.
I think that's something a lot of people don't realize is Kobe Bryant was really getting ready to elevate the WNBA because, I mean, he works with a lot of people. You hear all the young athletes today say we trained in the summer, we trained, in the off season. DeMar DeRozan in particular credits his career to Kobe Bryant. So now with his daughter was an up and comer and getting ready to make an impact, no doubt. You can see the way she played in some of the videos you see now. Yeah. And a lot of people didn't know that.
No, and I was first introduced to Kobe in, I think it was 2007. It was his skills academy at Mater Dei. I think they had just finished the gym, and I was just shagging balls, helping out with a trainer that I mentored under. And like, DeMar was in that camp. He was at Compton. Malcolm Lee, Tyreek Evans. I just watched the video this morning.
Oh, wow.
But, to see he really made working out and growing as a basketball player and elevating your game to the next level, he made that everything. Like, there was never a time when you heard Kobe Bryant and you weren't thinking about work ethic or adversity. And that camp really opened my eyes because I felt like it, just getting into the coaching realm, like I felt that camp really helped me as a player because I was still kind of playing, and it really helped me get over the top, just seeing how this guy looked at the game. I mean, back then, I remember he was, I think that was when Ori bumped Steve Nash over you remember that?
Right, I do.
They got into it, and he did a video thing on pick and rolls. And he broke down all this film himself because he couldn't call Nash. They were like rivals in the Western Conference. So he broke down all this stuff, and there was 3 things that like really stood out to me. How Nash used the shot clock, Kobe pointed that out. How he used the ball screen, how Nash would like grab Amari's shorts or his hand to engage the defender. I think they called it trapping the pick and roll. But just, that kind of outlook on the game was pretty amazing.
It is. It's very cerebral. Cerebral of you to pick up on that. Sometimes you just need that one mentor to turn on that light switch, and it all becomes clear. Let's talk about now, has Coach Dunbar here had a chance to talk with the team? And like, how are you approaching this right now with the first game out? It's still raw, let's face it.
Yeah, we really haven't as a staff. It's kind of one of those things where if a player had an issue, it would kind of get back to us. We have a really, really close team. We only have 2 seniors, and the rest are juniors and sophomores. One of our sophomores, who is really close to the Bryant family, is coming off ankle surgery, so he's kind of in and out of the team right now. And I know it affected him. I text with his dad all the time. And Sunday, his dad was texting me, but the kid who I talk to all the time, he's like a family friend of mine. He was pretty shook. He didn't get back to me until probably like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
So today will be the first time I'll see him. He's going to go on our road trip to Santa Margarita today. But life is it's so fragile, man.
I know.
It's one of those things that you can't explain.
It's been tough. And a lot of the pundits, a lot of the sportscasters, and athletes in particular are reminding us all about how fragile it is and how it can be gone that quick. This isn't an injury. This is it. This is it. This is life.
That's it.
This isn't a bad. Even when you have an athlete, like with an Achilles tear, his career's probably done.
Yeah.
This is way beyond that. This is way beyond that. And I just don't envy being a high school basketball coach right now, having to deal, because it is still raw.
Yeah, and there's enough going on in the high school world for a kid.
Yeah.
Than to deal with something death.
Around campus, what have you been seeing?
Lots of Kobe shoes, lots of Kobe jerseys, lots of Lakers stuff. More so than I've seen. But it's an expression for the kids and the staff too. I got my Kobe's on right now. A lot of the teachers are wearing their stuff, Laker memorabilia. But just the cultural impact that he had on Southern California is, I mean, the guy moved like a god around here.
Absolutely.
You know? Like
flying.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it today as I was driving over here. You know, one of the guys like I looked up to a lot when I was playing. He played at St. John Bosco. His name is Edgar Loera, but he mentored me a lot when I was coming up. Latino point guard, but he would always put on his Snapchat, you know, game day when the Lakers played. If he saw a helicopter, he'd be like, "Oh, Kobe's on his way to the game." You know.
Probably true though. In a lot of ways,
you know.
In a lot of ways.
So.
Well, you know, Charlie, I don't envy you guys right now, the coaches. You guys, you do mentor a lot of kids, and I believe down the road this is where you really make your money. This is where the rubber meets the road.
For sure.
And to mentor these kids, because it's more than just the X's and O's about basketball, dribbling, skills, and all that stuff. This is a life lesson right here.
100%. I mean, I don't think I'd be in this industry as long as I have if it was strictly basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm really good at what I do, but the personal side, the relationship side is what's kept me around, honestly. Like I love kids, I love their families, I love, you know, the relationships and where it goes. You know, this is my life. I mean, I've used this game to get to, you know, like 20 different countries.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. You've been at it a long time. I know Charlie for a long time, and you've dedicated yourself to it. You know, and especially a guy your size teaching big men how to play.
Yeah.
I was amazed, and they make it to the NBA. That's what I was most amazed of. Well, Charlie, I'd like to thank you for your time. I'd like to thank your school and Lutheran for having us out, and Coach Dunbar for being generous with his room here today. And once again, yourself, man, the trainer to the high school athletes. This is the guy, and he knows a lot of people in the basketball community in high school. And you definitely have your pulse, and we appreciate your time today.
No, thank you. Anytime.
All right, Charlie Torres, everybody. So, guys, question to you. You heard Coach Torres talk about the campus. Everybody's wearing Kobe and Laker stuff.
Oh, everybody is now,
but
right?
you got to imagine, a lot of these kids idolize Kobe Bryant. And so now everybody's having a hard time. Like, they have a player on the team that was close to him. He worked out with them and was working with them. And, that kid's devastated. So it's got to be difficult if I'm a high school coach, to get my kids back on track, start thinking about basketball. Right. They have to grieve, too.
It's, and I think one of the things, and I know, Randy, you want to talk about this as well, is the fact that, Kobe in his second life now after his playing career was going to take women's hoops, girls basketball, and kind of put it on his back and raise it up, I think, to the next level, right? I mean,
WNBA he was talking about.
Being the father of daughters, right? He didn't have a son. It would have been tough to have been a son of Kobe Bryant, right? But his daughters, and of course Gigi, the one that unfortunately passed away with him, boy, had the look of, had that same fadeaway jumper. You see some of the videos of her, playing, in the Mamba League basketball and everything. And so I think it was really his mission. A lot of people saw Kobe was going to be able to do that, was going to be able to lend his name to women's basketball, which has struggled over the years. WNBA really hasn't gotten as big as some thought it would. And he was going to be able to elevate it up, and maybe Gigi would have been a part of that too with him.
Well, she certainly would have been the lightning rod. There's no question about it. Had she gone to UConn, and that was her desire, and let's applaud UConn because they had a very nice ceremony on her behalf and Kobe's behalf, and Gino Auriemma and the whole UConn team embraced the moment and did a great job with that. But had she gone on to UConn, and everything would have developed, the hopes and dreams of women's basketball certainly would have been elevated with Kobe and Gigi, and that's another loss because women's sports he embraced. And I go back again many years when women's sports was kind of scoffed upon. And Title IX, what is this all about? Well, Title IX's worked out, and Kobe and Gigi could have taken that to another level. And hopefully, knowing what they wanted and what they desired, hopefully the general public will embrace that and move women's sports forward.
Well, I did a story with Sammy Doucette, who's now the women's basketball coach at Orange Coast College, and we're going to talk about the OCC thing in just a second, Coach Altobelli. But, curiously enough, a year ago, she was the head basketball coach at Costa Mesa High School, which is just a stone's throw from Vanguard University, which is where Russ Davis is the coach of that nationally ranked program. Well, Kobe and Russ became really tight friends. I mean, really good friends with each other. And Sammy was part of that program at Vanguard. Well, she goes and takes the job at Costa Mesa High. There's not much tradition over there. Trust me, I've covered the area. And Kobe donated shoes to the team. So right away, and that team went on to win a league championship, by the way, made a couple rounds into the playoffs. So, Kobe had done all these things, and that wasn't for publicity or anything. She just told me, hey, by the way, Kobe gave us a bunch of shoes. All the girls have shoes they can play in now. Some girls maybe not able to afford them. Now everybody's going to have nice shoes to wear because Kobe just, did that for them. So,
well, you're talking about the
lots of
maturation,
stories like that.
the maturation of an individual. We saw him as a kid, 17, 18 years of age, come to the Lakers, have his trials and tribulations early on the floor, become this great star, some problems off the court, which we don't need to discuss really, and then mature not only as a player, then leave his basketball career, win an Academy Award, go on to become a great family man. That's really the great tragedy here, because he became a great father. And he loved his girls, and he embraced the opportunity to be a father, and that's awesome, because all you want as a male as you get older is to be a great father. That's your role in life.
Now, one of the other storylines out of this tragedy was the fact that, as we talked about, Bob, Altobelli, Coach Altobelli, John Altobelli,
at
Orange Coast College. Last year, the guy won a state title, his fourth one. He was also Coach of the Year nationally. So they had a lot of high hopes and big dreams into this. Coming into today. Today was the opening day for
Today
him.
was opening day for the Pirates.
The team voted to continue on and play the season out, play opening day instead of just forfeiting it and collecting their breath. But you were out there today.
Yeah, went out there today to the game, and boy, it was packed, as you would expect. Lots of ex-players, friends, everybody there. Went up and I said hi to a couple people, and nobody really felt like talking that much, understandably. But we were able to talk to one of his ex-player, actually an ex-player and somebody who coached with him a year ago on the national championship team, Austin Warblock. He just kind of reminisced about what kind of a guy John Altobelli was.
I mean, when I played here, I just looking up to the guy. He was a father figure. So many, not just me, created like boys into men. It was awesome. And I feel one of the biggest men. He'd always just joke with me. He'd always mess around. But there was one time before we went to the state championship. My dad's always here in the stands, and he takes us all, say, "Hey guys, if you guys can't practice in front of Robrock's dad, how are you gonna play in front of hundreds of people in state finals?" And everyone just dogs me, and that's just how he was. He brought everyone together. It didn't matter. My dad's out there. He brought everyone as a family. And you see hundreds of people here. And when it happened on Sunday, there was at least over 150 people that dropped anything they had at a drop of the hat. And we were here together as the Pirate family. And it's horrifying and horrible, but it's also amazing to see what legacy he had and how much people loved him. It's sad.
What was it like for you to be a coach, so to go from being a player to being a peer in some sorts, of being a coach with him, getting a chance to see him on that level as well last year?
Yeah, definitely. As a player, I was a little nervous, scared of him. Right? He's a big dog. You want to please him, and then over the years, when coming back to practice and train with them, then I get asked, "Hey, you want to be the infield coach?" And I go, "Yeah, I do." And it comes to being a buddy. Like he became a father figure into being one of my best friends. I felt someone I can talk to, whoever I want to talk to, not just be worried if I text him what is he going to say, but like really confide in him, and he would talk to me like we were just best friends. And I think that was the biggest thing for me that really hit home as well. That's like he wasn't just a coach. He was someone I looked up to. He was like a father. He was like a best friend that you can come back and just talk about anything.
So guys, as you can imagine, it was a very somber mood out there. The old saying, hope springs eternal in baseball, kind of brings on the beginning of spring, But, even as the guys were out there and they played a game today and they were excited about that, still it was with heavy hearts that everybody came out and started a baseball season anew for this 2020 season. We saw the makeshift memorial out there, and that continued to grow throughout the day, and it's just still, even we talk about a surreal feeling for those involved with Kobe. It's the same thing with Coach Altobelli. just a surreal thing to think, he's not there anymore. He's not the head coach at Orange Coast College anymore, and the program he had built there with the Pirates.
Built the field.
Yeah. Oh,
The field is beautiful.
Trust me, I went to school there many moons ago, and that field was a mess. And he came on. You look at that field and that stadium now, it is wonderful. They did such a nice job with it. It's a nice place to go see a baseball game now. Didn't used to be that way. Now it really is. And that's another testament to what Coach Altobelli did at Orange Coast College.
All right, guys, any closing thoughts on this? Let's go, Randy. You go first, Randy.
Man.
Well, I would just say how fortunate we were to witness greatness on and off the floor from Kobe Bryant for 20 years. There's only a few players that I've seen in my lifetime that had the impact when you watched it. He was like a magnet. He was powerful. Dr. J had that charisma. Obviously, Michael Jordan, now LeBron, and then there's Kobe. So for us to have Kobe for 20 years, we need to appreciate that. We need to remember that, and I'm sure he's going to live on forever in Southern California. And I just want to thank Kobe, even though he's not here, for the years he gave us, because they were monumental.
All right, Bob.
Yeah, I never met Kobe. I didn't have the chance to interview him, but I'll never forget his final game when he scored 60 points and
man.
Just what an event that was to witness. That was really something. On the personal side, knowing Coach Altobelli a little bit, having talked with him, just my heart goes out to the entire family. His brother Tony, of course, over at OCC and that whole community. They're hurting too, just as much as the Laker community and everybody is, and a lot of people involved in this. Not, obviously 9 people that lost their lives. So, again, our condolences go out to everybody, all the families. It's going to take a while for everybody to get over every aspect of what happened here.
And let's not forget, Southern California high school basketball is grieving too.
Yeah.
At every level, not just high school, but that's what our show is. And it's just unfortunate. They're all going through this now. But hopefully everybody will dust themselves off, work a little harder on behalf of Kobe Bryant, because we're hearing all how intense he was, his work ethic, his daughter's work ethic. It was tough.
Mamba mentality.
And embrace life
Yeah.
when you're here.
Enjoy
your life while you have it.
You got that right.
All right, we're going to leave you now. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, our jovial selves. Today we're not in the mood.
Not
Tough
today.
show today. We're going to leave you with the sights and sounds of LA as they continue to grieve over Kobe Bryant and the other 8 people who passed away.
This is a tragedy that we didn't understand. We love Kobe, we love the Lakers.
Sense of pride, bringing pride to our city, making us all feel like champions.
He's been part of the culture of Los Angeles. It is heartbreaking. He was trying to be a good dad and do things with his daughter and take her to her games.
I'm grateful that Kobe Bryant was able to make us, really close as a family and give us something we could all get behind. And I think everyone here today is here for that reason. We're like a big family in Los Angeles.
My son, I still remember all his college essays were about Kobe, and I just wanted to pay my respects for him and thank him for all the inspiration he gave to him as a young man and to our family and to the city of LA.
He's in the Hall of Fame of Los Angeles forever.